Mokai is the gentleman that I'm working with on a current project called Copasetic Conversations. Mokai is not a Zulu, by the way. Everybody doesn't know that the third
roll
beetle's
with
not a
it.
beetle.
He's really nice.
Yeah, he's from another tribe, but he is sort of the advisor to the prince. He's much more urban, so he has a much better grasp of the language, and also he's not as black and white in his views. He's very open to exploring the cultural exchange. That was a big premise, is this was cultural exchange. So when they came back, there's one thing he didn't get to do on his wish list when he was in Butte the first time, which is when they were coming to Butte, South African media says America is full of racists, and if you go there, you're going to be killed. So all the news is like Ferguson is on fire, we elected a racist president, and so they came anyway with all the propaganda, and ended up in Butte, and we're like, where are the Trump supporters? Like, that was the thing, is he's like, your president is this guy, but I haven't found anybody that's voted for him. So I'm like, I told him originally, you're not coming to America, you're coming to Butte, America, which is it's a different thing. So in a effort to fulfill his dream of finding a Trump supporter, we decided to do a radio program called Copasetic Conversations, where we find people who are not always in the majority in this town. And so, briefly, my background is I was raised ultra right-wing fundamentalist white supremacist in Oklahoma. And being raised that way, when I got out of the cult and I got out of the house, I had to reprogram myself in the world. And I reprogrammed myself not because people pointed their finger at me and told me I was a terrible person and I should change my mind. I was able to move forward because people said, well, you seem intelligent. How did you come to this? And I had to answer my own questions.
Why do you believe that?
And I had to move my own identity in a direction that was appropriate for me. And as we become more polarized in our dialogues, in our politics, in our religion, in our social policies, it seems that the divide is harder and stronger than it's ever been. I know growing up in Oklahoma, a Republican and a Democrat could have a drink in a bar and still borrow each other's tools afterwards.
Right.
That's becoming increasingly difficult to do. So through my training, self-training, gonzo style, I learned that I've been working on a book for 11 years, and the longer I work on it, the further I get away from ending it. In an effort to find a bridge from the left to the right, or from the progressive to the fundamentalist. Because it happened for me, it's happened for other people, so it seems like it's a worthy endeavor to try to reopen communications in a divided country. So the premise of the show, Copasetic Conversations, is not to get a Trump voter on and tell them how they're wrong, but to just ask them, how do you come to these ideas? How do you feel about these ideas? And let them answer the questions themselves. And we've had somebody who is pro-life, we've had a Trump supporter, we've had a libertarian, we had Antifa, we've had various people from various sort of extremes of the culture
Who all live in Butte.
And in that endeavor, what we've discovered is, like, if we say we're going to have a Trump voter, people automatically project onto them who they think that person is.
Right.
And when they start talking, you realize they feel very differently about the military budget than you might have thought. They feel very differently about recycling than you might have imagined. And so the data points that we project onto them started falling away. And you realize that this is a person with a view and not a stereotype.